Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a budget with me for the paycheck that I will be receiving on May 26th, 2022 using the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. As I said in my introduction, this is the budget with me for the paycheck that I'm receiving on the 26th of May. Nothing too exciting going on in my monthly spread. Pretty much everything has been checked off except for my church contribution, because even though I'm paying that with my last paycheck, it's not coming out until the 26th. And then just a couple of other savings challenge related things towards the end of the month. I'm actually filming this on the 24th, so I haven't gotten to those yet. One thing I did want to point out is that the paycheck that I'm receiving on the 26th is marked off in lavender here, or in purple, and there's no purple on this spread, and that's because I'm using this paycheck to pay bills that are due in June. And if I flip forward to June, you can see that right over here. So that is why I'm purple free on this May calendar, even though I have my paycheck on the 26th. Let's move right over to the paycheck budget tracker. I'm going to zoom all of you in, that way you can see this clearly. So again, this is the paycheck that I'm receiving on May 26, 2022. As usual, I do start out in the income section. I have been budgeting my income to be $3,000, which is working well for me, so I'm going to continue to do that. For the bills section, we don't have a ton going on with this paycheck, which I'm actually really grateful for, given some other stuff that I have going on. I just have my rent due, which is $600, Spotify, which is around $11, and then I do have to pull out for one of the 2022 savings challenges for May. I do the 2022 savings challenges from the Budget Mom. I love them. There's usually 2 challenges per month, and one of them you take from your paycheck and one you take from your cash envelopes. So I'm pulling out the one for my paycheck with this paycheck. It just seemed to make the most sense because I'm paying less bills with this paycheck. So I'm going to pull out $110 for that, which means that my total bills add up to be $721. And if I subtract that from the $3,000 I am budgeting my income to be, we're left with $2,279, which is what I'm going to bring over to the envelopes or variable expense section of the paycheck budget tracker, which is right here. For me, my categories and the amounts for my variable spending don't change from paycheck to paycheck. I really try to kind of stick to a pretty specific budget for them. I tend to be under budget for groceries, but I'd rather give myself a little bit more leeway. You never know, maybe there's a really good sale on something that's non-perishable or something like that and I want to stock up. So I like having about $200 in there for 2 weeks. Eating out is at $75. Gas is at $75. I actually didn't go over, well, there's a couple days left in my current pay period, so you never know, but I didn't go over gas my last pay period. I think I didn't go over my last 2. So keeping it at $75 for now. Everyone knows gas prices are wild. It may be something I do have to increase, but I'm just going to continue with the $75 for now, and then $150 for miscellaneous spending. All of these categories add up together do equal $500, and if I subtract that from the $2,279 I was left with after paying my bills, I have $1,779 that I'm going to bring up to the sinking fund section of the paycheck budget tracker. Now, this is where things are changing or look different. If you watched my last cash envelope stuffing, which if I remember, I can try to link up here, I did meet my goal for my Christmas sinking fund for 2022, which was the last sinking fund I had with a goal that I had to meet. So all of my 2022 sinking funds that have goals have been met, which is really, really exciting. So the only two that I'm contributing to are my travel and my car maintenance, which are two rolling sinking funds, meaning they don't have a goal. I'm just going to keep contributing to them every single time I get paid. I did chat with you all about the fact that I had initially been wanting to contribute a lot of money to my travel sinking fund because I'm hoping to go on vacation in the fall. I've obviously, had to do some scratching out and reconfiguring of my budget. So it is going to get its usual 50. For car maintenance, it's getting its usual 50. I think I have less than $200 in there right now. My car maintenance sinking fund had a lot of money in it, well over $1,000, but I am buying a new vehicle, and the actual purchase of that vehicle is happening, fingers crossed, in July, as long as there's no delays. It has not been built yet. It should be being built the first week of June. But basically, I'm going to have a new car, and so I don't need a huge car maintenance sinking fund because hopefully I'm not going to have to put anything beyond basic maintenance into it in the next few years. And I was toying with having like a little bit of a maintenance fund because obviously oil changes, things like that. And so I want to have some money, and I was toying with how much, and I did decide that I think I want to have $1,000 in a car maintenance sinking fund. That may seem like a lot for a brand new vehicle, but it just makes me feel more comfortable. I have to be honest, like I've had a car maintenance sinking fund since I started doing sinking funds. It makes me feel so much more secure having a car maintenance sinking fund, and so I think I want to have $1,000 sinking fund. So I'm going to keep putting 50 into it until I hit that $1,000, and then once I do, I'll stop that and just hold on to it for a while. And if I see it depleting, and then I can like kind of try to replenish it here and there. But the majority of what I'm focusing on right now is a down payment for that vehicle that I'm purchasing in July. So that has become my number one priority with regards to savings or sinking funds. My house has had to drop to number 2. And that's just because, again, I'm purchasing this car in July. I'm still looking for houses. I actually went to an open house over the weekend. I'm not finding anything still. Prices are still wild. Interest rates have risen, so what I can afford is a lot less. It's a lot. There's a lot going on with regards to me finding a home. And so, I do have enough money set aside for a car payment. For down payment on a house if I find the house. I wanted to keep adding to that because of the market, but right now I have to make my car my priority, my down payment on my car a priority. So I kind of split how much I want for this down payment up by how many paychecks I have left until July. And so that meant that I would have to contribute about $900 a paycheck. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm putting $900 towards my car down payment, again keeping with my usual amounts for travel and car maintenance. So together these three sinking funds add up to $1,000, which means that after my bills, my miscellaneous expenses, my sinking funds, I have $779 left, which is going to go to my house savings. So as you can see, I was initially going to be contributing a lot more to my house, but that's because, let me try to explain this in a not super confusing way. And I'm zooming out just so you can kind of see everything on this side clearly. Basically, I had made monthly savings goals for myself for about the first 6 months of the year. And so initially, I was going to be trying to contribute more towards travel for a vacation in the fall. What I decided to do was to continue to make my house savings my priority. So I was splitting up my goal for the month between my two paychecks, which meant that with this paycheck, I would have had to contribute $1,280 towards my house savings. And then whatever I had left, I was going to put the 50 towards car maintenance and everything after that towards travel, which would have been $449. But because my priorities have had to change and car down payment has had to come first, I am saving what I need to save for car down payment, putting the minimums towards my other sinking funds, and then whatever's left is going into the house savings. So a little bit of a change there, but just to kind of explain what those crossed out numbers were and where those numbers were coming from. For my cash envelope breakdown, we can zoom in a tiny bit here. So basically the 3 categories up top, my eating out, gas, and miscellaneous, those are my variable expenses. You don't see groceries there because I do purchase my groceries online, so I have to pay for them online. So when I get paid, I transfer $200 into a separate checking account. I call it my variable expense checking account, and when I purchase groceries, I pay for them out of that checking account. I always try to go with highest denominations possible. So for eating out and gas, that's a 50, a 20, and a 5. For miscellaneous, we do like to mix things up. The reason being that if I have any savings challenges that I need to contribute to, I'm going to pull them from this total. So for this paycheck, I'm pulling out a $100 bill, 2 20s, a 5, and 5 singles in order to have the bills that I need for the savings challenges that I have to contribute to. For my travel, car maintenance, car down payment, those are getting largest bills. So travel and car maintenance are getting $50 bills, and then I'm doing $100 bills, 9 of them for car down payment. For my 2022 savings challenge, same thing, biggest bills, so a $100 bill and a $10 bill. And I have all my totals down here. Everything does add up to be $1,410. So that's what I'll be pulling out of my checking account when I go to the bank on the 26th. That is what we will be stuffing in my cash envelope stuffing for this paycheck, which will be posted on Saturday. And that is it for today's budget with me. Shorter than my last one. My last budget with me was super long, but it was just because there was a lot of changes happening, and I wanted to make sure I was clear on why those changes were happening. That way people watching my videos can understand kind of why things are happening the way that they're happening. So I hope you enjoyed this budget with me, a little bit more simple. If you have any questions or comments, never hesitate to put them down below. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.